It takes a lot for something to grab my attention. But Silksong has done just that. I've been playing this game maniacally since I bought it a few days ago. As I played, it dawned on me what an incredible game this is for a very low cost. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is about $75. Sonic X Generations is about $50 USD. And just in general, the price of like Switch 2 games and AAA games, compared to the $20 USD price tag of Silksong, I paid a little bit less than that. It's kind of a bit confusing how they managed to get it so cheap. Let's look at some pricing models. There's price skimming, which employs a high initial price with a steep drop later on. They did this with Sonic Frontiers. Silksong did not do this. There's freemium, which allows a free download with in-app purchases commonly used in mobile games. Although this just often ends up being an ad-funded experience, Silksong did not do this. There's tiered or edition-based pricing, which segments various game features behind a higher price tag, like having a deluxe version with all the elements of the game. Silksong did not do this. And then there's the pricing structure where you pay a AAA game price of about 75 USD or even sometimes 100 USD, only to find that parts of the game will be purchasable later or find certain elements of the game are behind a paywall. These things are often used at launch to get as much money out of early adopters as possible. Silksong did not do this. By some miraculous spark of genius, Team Cherry decided to make a wonderful game at low cost. That's it. That's all there is to this. And that already, I feel, is a big deal, rewarding early adopters with a great price. This is the first game I have bought I also bought A Quiet Place New because I am a fan of the franchise, and this game was also really affordable. And the thing is, once I have finished this game, I will be all too happy to buy a DLC with some new stages or experimental bits that they left on their cutting room floor, because it was just so damn affordable from the beginning.
Because you're a cheapskate?
No, well, yes, but also it is difficult to justify a purchase on my bank statement of over 50 USD that isn't work related. It just doesn't feel right to me. Speaking of non-work related things, let's talk about PCBWay. PCBWay currently have a great deal on all TPU or FDM prints, starting from $7.96 USD. The bigger the weight of your project, the bigger the discounts, all the way up to 80% discount on TPU prints. I am currently using this very special to get the price down on a little project that I'm working on for the channel, because I'm getting a few gaming headphones in, and so I wanted to do something fun with that. They have been so helpful chatting to me online, and I know that they do this for all their customers. It's not just me because I'm on YouTube. They will communicate with me and say, well, this little piece isn't working quite as expected, and so forth, until we get the project exactly how I want it. So check out PCBWay. 3D printing, CNC milling, sheet metal processing, all sorts of stuff on their website that you can do for prototyping all the way through to commercial projects. Thank you, PCBWay, for sponsoring today's video. I couldn't help but compare this game to the Super Mario franchise. I'm a big platformer fan. I have nostalgic memories sitting in my lounge playing Super Mario, Darkwing Duck, and Bart Simpson on my Famicom instead of doing homework. So in my mind, whenever a modern platformer comes along, my brain still gets surprised. Like, how did they do this? How did they do what I did when I was a little kid in this cool, amazing new graphical format? It's like it's the mid-90s and Marty McFly hands me a Steam Deck and says, this is going to blow your mind. But what really gets my motor revving, I have literally never used that phrase before, is how this 20 USD game competes with a 75 USD Switch 2 release. There have been games that have come and gone and have relied on one or two of the major pillars of a great game, but Silksong seemingly leans on most of them. Great soundscapes, great graphics, beautifully fluid movements that make the characters feel alive, an engaging story with endearing characters and a sense of difficulty versus story progression. That is God tier. I have never been this engaged with a game that is this difficult. There are no levels of difficulty. I can't put it on easy mode. It just is what it is. It keeps you wanting to beat those bosses because you know that they are going to reward you with a new environment or power up or some sort of element that will make you glad you just went through all that trouble. Now, comparing it to something like Super Mario is probably unfair, one would think, but in my opinion, Silksong holds its own. Super Mario has lore, Silksong has lore. Mario is a quirky, weird, and lovable character. Silksong has one of the most endearing protagonists in a game. Super Mario has groundbreaking platformer graphics and movement. Silksong has incredible scenery, 3D foreground elements, and character movements that creates a wonderfully believable fantasy world. I could just keep listing stuff here. Whatever Super Mario has, Silksong has, and even in my opinion, blows it away in some areas. Super Mario Wonder doesn't hold a candle to the cinematic marvel that is Silksong. Okay, so let's go back to what I said about it being engaging. You know that moment when you're playing a game and you're like, this just isn't worth it, and you only end up picking the game up a few months later to get through that difficult thing that you just couldn't bear? Well, although I haven't finished the game yet, Team Cherry were very careful to make the boss levels hard-ish, but to immediately reward you with something. Perhaps a power-up, or a critical and entertaining story element, or just an epic scene that takes your breath away. I don't say this lightly when I say that this is one of the most engaging games and probably the most engaging platformer I have ever played. Good Lord, Soundscapes. This game is begging to be played on a giant OLED screen with the best sound system money can buy. Audiophiles, pack your pretentious bags and come and set something amazing up in my lounge because I need some of that audiophilia in my life. Sorry. I mean, just wow, from the eerie moans of the weird zombie people / insects that creep the hell out of you, to the stunning cinematic orchestral music, to the dripping of something in the distance, or the distinct song of merchants who sell you maps, the sound is a massive element of the Silksong experience. I mean, even just the tip-tapping along a metal surface in the game. Absolutely fantastic. This is not a put on mute and play during SVU game. This is a wait until everyone is asleep, put on your OLED Vertuer glasses and your best headphones and play into the wee hours of the morning game. You'll look like an idiot, but you'll also feel like an idiot. The depth and amount of effort that has gone into choosing sounds for each character, action, and effect is quite staggering. Although this video is just me gushing over a game that I like, I must mention that the internet is awash. Yes, awash, my friends, with photos of people using interesting devices to play this game. Bob Wolf has it on the AYN Odin 2 Mini, Alden Walsh has it on the Anbernic RG477, Spade and Wells played it on the RP5, and I've been playing this on the AYN Odin 2 Portal. And why, you may ask? Because we can. Silksong is available to buy on Steam, and while it's all good and well playing this on your expensive gaming PC or on your Steam Deck, why not mix things up with an interesting Android device using Gamehub?
What is Gamehub?
Gamehub is a super sketchy piece of software that you can use to play your Steam games on Android. It takes your Google info and your Steam info and uses things like Wine to install your Steam games and play them on Android, and the results are pretty good according to my testing. The only big downside is that Cloud Sync isn't supported, so no save states across your devices. I just needed to select Proton for ARM as the interpretation layer here, and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Again, I've never used that phrase. Okay, I always use that phrase. I think Silksong is a bigger deal than we realize. An affordable game that isn't necessarily groundbreaking, but manages to take on the biggest franchises in gaming and come out arguably on top. That's huge. That's what so many people have been asking for. Cheaper games that go back to the roots of why gaming was a thing in the first place. Pure, unadulterated fun. What do you think? Have you played Silksong yet? Do you think it's the best platformer ever? At the very least, it's an impressive feat of engineering packaged into something way more affordable than we are used to. Well done, Team Cherry. We love you. You must be onto something because you've captured the imagination of this ADHD brain.